Are you unknowingly giving your baby nighttime milk at noon and daytime milk at midnight and wondering why sleep, mood, and feeding feel off?
Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay informed with quick, easy-to-listen summaries of our latest articles, perfect for when you're on the go. No reading required. Subscribe for free at mercola.com for the latest health insights.
Hello, and welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster, and today we're looking at how the timing of breast milk quietly steers your baby's sleep, digestion, and alertness, and how simple time matching can help you build calmer days and more restful nights.
I'm Alara Sky, and we'll keep this focused and practical. A recent investigation in Frontiers in Nutrition collected hundreds of samples from lactating mothers across 4 time points: morning, midday, evening, and midnight, to map how hormones, immune factors, and even microbes in breast milk shift with the clock. Those shifts act like signals that help your baby's developing internal rhythm.
The clearest pattern was day-night hormone cycling. Melatonin in evening and midnight milk peaks after dark, which supports sleep and digestion. Cortisol is highest in the morning, supporting alertness and daytime activity. Oxytocin remains steady, while protective immune components such as immunoglobulin A and lactoferrin are present to help guard against infection. These findings explain why time-appropriate milk often aligns with smoother naps and easier nights.
The milk's microbiome also changes with time. Night milk contained more skin-associated bacteria, while day samples leaned toward environmental microbes. These variations may influence early gut colonization and immune development, and patterns differed with maternal body mass index and infant age. The researchers' conclusion was straightforward. Labeling expressed milk by time and feeding it in sync with that time supports healthier rhythms when your baby's clock is still maturing.
Why does this matter so much in the first months? Newborns don't arrive with a synchronized circadian rhythm. In the womb, timing cues come through the mother. After birth, those cues drop away. Chrononutrition, the idea that you align nutrition with biological timing, suggests that giving milk at a different time than it was produced can blur those signals, contributing to fragmented sleep, irregular feeding, and unsettled moods as your baby tries to sort day from night.
There are additional time-linked components beyond melatonin and cortisol. Tryptophan rises in evening milk, supporting the body's production of melatonin and helping the nervous system settle before sleep. Nucleotides such as 5'-AMP and 5'UMP fluctuate across the day and may influence whether your baby feels more alert or ready to rest. Together, these cues help your baby learn the difference between daytime and nighttime.
Once you understand that milk carries time-sensitive information, the practical step is to preserve those signals. Label each container with both the date and the time you pumped. Morning milk is best used during active daytime hours. Evening and midnight milk are best offered before bedtime or overnight. This gentle matching is a simple way to support your baby's emerging sleep-wake cycle.
Organization helps you keep it consistent. Use clearly labeled containers and sort them by the time expressed so you avoid accidental mismatches. This prevents sending mixed cues, like cortisol-rich morning milk right before bedtime, which can complicate settling and stretch out the path to consistent sleep.
If you rely on donor milk, timing still matters. Matching the donor milk's expression time with your baby's current feed can help maintain consistent hormonal and microbial cues. This approach may be particularly helpful for infants who struggle with sleep or developmental transitions, where stable rhythms provide reassurance and structure.
Think of time-matched feeding as a rhythm you build together. Use morning milk to reinforce alertness during active hours, and evening milk to support winding down. Watch how your baby responds and adjust within those time windows. Those observations help you refine the routine so it fits your baby's changing needs without forcing rigid schedules.
This kind of responsiveness pays off during life changes, returning to work, moving from breast to bottle for some feeds, or adjusting sleep routines can all feel disruptive. Offering milk expressed at consistent times preserves familiar cues through the transition, helping your baby stay more settled and secure while everything else shifts.
Beyond timing, the broader benefits of breastfeeding remain central. Colostrum delivers a concentrated package of antibodies, white blood cells, and growth factors that instruct and protect. Exclusive breastfeeding in early life is associated with a more diverse gut microbiome, especially beneficial bifidobacterium, supporting gut integrity, lower inflammation, and stronger immune function.
Those early microbial patterns carry measurable downstream effects. Greater gut diversity at 1 month has been linked with slightly lower systolic blood pressure by age 6, which implies a cardiovascular benefit independent of body weight. Human milk oligosaccharides act as selective prebiotics for beneficial microbes, while secretory IgA helps teach your infant's immune system to tolerate harmless exposures and respond to pathogens appropriately.
Inflammation is another differentiator. Breastfed infants tend to show lower inflammatory profiles, which is associated with reduced risk of conditions like allergies, asthma, and metabolic disorders. By comparison, formula-fed infants often carry a more inflammatory microbial signature, which can increase vulnerability to illness and immune dysregulation.
Breast milk also remains biologically alive in ways formula cannot replicate. It adapts to your baby's age, health, and even the time of day. Formula is static. Evidence associates formula feeding with a higher risk of diarrhea, respiratory infections, and ear infections in the short term, and a higher risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease over time. Those contrasts underline why prioritizing breastfeeding, when possible, supports long-term health.
Be aware of how growth is tracked. Many clinics still use growth references that overrepresent formula-fed infants, who typically gain faster. That can make a breastfed baby appear light against those curves even when growth is appropriate. Understanding the context protects you from mislabeling normal breastfed patterns as problems.
Questions about safety also appear in formula discussions. Analyses have identified heavy metals such as lead and aluminum in some infant formulas, raising concerns about neurological and immune effects. At a population level, inadequate breastfeeding is linked to substantial preventable illness, hundreds of thousands of child deaths annually, and significant economic losses due to healthcare costs and reduced cognitive potential.
Historically, raw milk occupied a different place in infant feeding before pasteurization was adopted to address contamination risk. Pasteurization reduces pathogens, but also alters natural enzymes and proteins. While debates continue, the key point for our discussion is that breast milk's living, adaptive qualities remain unmatched. Formula offers the same composition every feed, without the ability to respond to your baby's changing needs.
Let's land this in one clear action you can take today. Starting with your next pumping session, label each container with the exact time expressed and feed it within the matching part of the day. Organize your fridge or freezer by morning, afternoon, and evening bins. As you align milk timing with your baby's schedule, watch for steadier naps, calmer evenings, and more predictable moods. Thank you for watching Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.